Good morning. I just woke up. Happy July 1st. I love July. Bug bite. I said I only started a little bit, but I had just finished this book. I literally, like, as soon as I woke up at about 6:40 or 7, I started reading it. I only had 4 chapters left, just about. The last few chapters were shorter. Another good book done. Another successful read. The Neighbor Favor by Kristina Forest. It's a romance book about Lily and Nick. And essentially, they're both bookworms. She finds this book at an old bookstore that she used to work at, and it turns out it's from him. And she's trying to find the author because it's like a very niche, a very unknown book. It's just in a red cover. He finally gets a website that his friend made him. She ends up emailing. They email for about 6 months on end, or a year on end, somewhere about that time. And he ghosts her when they're about to video call. He ghosts her because he's just, I'm sorry, I'm not who you think I am. And they don't talk. He ends up moving to New York because of a publish this thing. And come to find out, they actually are neighbors and they're really attracted to each other. He finds out very soon after, like I think that day of, that this is Lily, the Lily that he fell in love with in the email. And then 2 months go on of them being on and off, literally having all these romantic things. The first interaction that they had, like where they, I don't know, one of the very earlier interactions was like they got attracted, they kissed, and he was just like, sorry. That's when he realizes she's Lily. He's just like, I can't do this. And she thinks something's wrong, and she's like, okay, if you don't want to kiss me, you don't want to be with me, that's fine. I don't want to be with anyone. Help me find a date instead for her sister's wedding that was happening in August. And he doesn't want to. Yada, yada. This whole thing. I'm not good at explaining. I think it'd be better if I wrote it down. But I don't care. This is my book review. Oh, my eye. Not bad. He's 28. She's 26. They end up being with each other in the end. He has really bad parent problems. And his commitment issues, he was just deadly terrified of, like, fucking up her life. And ironically, you try so hard to prevent something, it ends up being the very thing that happens. And she says that he betrays her because he knew that this was Lily for 2 months and that he was Strick. The author, that's the nickname he says to call her when they were emailing, which I think is really dumb because his last name is Strickland. Call me Strick. Strick just sound dumb. I'm so tired. Maybe I should have went on a walk first. I'm already 3 minutes in. It doesn't matter. Nick has really bad commitment issues. Lily has a really big family, very loving. They did a fashion show for her mother Dahlia's birthday party, which I thought was cool. I like Iris's baby girl Kala. That is a really lovely name. I think my friend, her nickname is Kala too, so that's a cute coincidence. Her sisters are interesting. I feel bad for her sister Iris because Iris's husband had passed away before Kala was born. Kala's 3. The Elves of Ceridon. I don't hear a lot about people talking about fantasy. So to see Lily and Nick be so interested in fantasy, very cool concept. I think it was funny. She started arguing with someone in the bookstore about YA novels and a book that she really liked. I don't like how Nick handled so much of this. He was just very on and off. Very, very frustrating. But I don't know. When you literally have a dad who takes money from you, your mom literally shows everything that he's not a good father figure, and then your mom barely being there for you and your babysitter straight up telling you you're gonna be like them because all the men in your life are bad. Literally, the poor boy has nothing to go off of. But he was too back and forth. But again, I get it. Because when you have nothing to go off of, you're literally just, you don't know what to do. And her, because she was more well-grounded, she knew what to do. She had more of an emotional maturity, yeah. I will say, though, I think at some point she says maybe once or twice just like, hey, you have problems going on in your life, and it's easier to handle them than to run away from them. And he's had multiple people. Marcus has said he's run away from his problems. He only brings it up once towards the climax of the book. Lily says it maybe once or twice when she gets to know him more. I do think not only would it have helped if he had therapy from the get-go, it requires a lot of patience to be with someone who's been through traumatic experiences like that. I saw it on TikTok at some point. This lady was just talking about how having shitty connections with your family, your parents, or stuff like that, it literally stunts your growth. That shit can literally set you for life if you don't have people to teach you and treat you well. So I felt bad for him. At some point, he was just like, I wish so bad I knew what to do to make it go away, when he was like inner monologuing after like admitting to her that he was strict. And my thought was just like, I get the thought process. He literally doesn't know what to do, so the most he can do is think like, I really wish I could make it better. And I know from another point of view, the thought could be like, but you can do better. This is the idea. This is the answer. Da, 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 da. But he doesn't know. No. Poor 28-year-old with a lot of trauma. Okay. Time for the discussion questions. I don't know if I just showed the name of the library. I feel like I already showed it in one of the videos. Okay, whatever. Questions for discussion. Number 1. Lily and Nick initially grew close without even having seen each other. Have you ever had a pen pal who became a close friend or romantic partner? I used to write a lot of letters when COVID had happened. I've made friends online. I don't know if I made close friends. I've made good friends. None of which I talk to anymore, I believe. Just like on a personal basis. Most of them I know online, and some of, if anything, I just don't know them anymore. So no, I don't think I've made any close friends or romantic partners through that way. I know I haven't made any romantic partners through being a pen pal. Okay. Lily struggles to move forward in her career due to both internal and external circumstances. In what ways do you think she could have stood up for herself? What do you find admirable throughout her journey? In her career-wise? Standing up for herself in general, that's a whole other ordeal. In her career, I don't know what she could have done career-wise to stand up for herself. I guess, never mind. She had a terrible fucking boss. In ways she could have stood up for herself, I guess flat out quitting. Telling her consistently, hey, you're being like this, you're being a dick. Go to HR. Petty revenge. Do something petty. It just seems like Edith's character was just goofy as hell. So if she was doing things, I think that would be grounds to get you fired, but it was an option. No, wait, never mind. Yeah. Standing up for yourself, petty revenge. I'm not saying that's the right answer, but that's an option. Petty revenge, standing up for yourself, calling HR, telling the people around you so that maybe they can help you, asking for advice, and telling her straightforward. But she has tried that, and Edith very clearly did not respect Lily. What did you find admirable throughout her journey? I think what was admirable in itself was Lily telling her straight up that she quit. I think it took her a lot of guts. It was sad to see her go through what she did with Edith in this whole process, but everyone moves differently. It takes everyone a different time frame to finally click that, hey, this is really fucked up. I don't want to be a part of this. So I just admire her. I admire her journey in itself. I admire when it clicked to her that Edith was just a shitty boss. Number 3. Lily and Nick's relationship begins with an underlying deceit on Nick's part. Do you think you could forgive like Lily did? Or would that be a deal breaker? It wouldn't be a deal breaker. I did not see it as a betrayal compared to Lily. I think I would have been a lot more empathetic because in knowing what they had talked about in the emails, and then in having met Nick, literally just now realizing his dad issues and then what had happened then, I wouldn't see it as a betrayal. I'd be like, it's kind of weird that you didn't tell me, but I get why you were too scared to. Especially when in the first time she had told them about the email thing, she would be like, I'd be so mad, I wouldn't know what to do. So you would get why that makes him scared. However, Nick was a coward. He was like, I think this is the best thing I can do for her. No, you just didn't want to tell her the truth. She deserved to know that. So, it's not a deal breaker. I would have forgiven him. I would have empathized with him immediately after saying that. But I think I'm not in the situation because it's a book, but if I was in that situation, I think it'd take me a minute to just process everything. But I don't think I'd be as upset as Lily was. What is your ideal date? I don't know. I like doing a lot of things. I like window shopping. I like going to the aquarium. I like trinket looking. I like thrifting, but I don't think I'd go thrifting on a date. I like food. I like eating pasta. I like grilled cheese. I guess it just depends. I like eating a lot of things. I haven't been to a buffet in a minute. Anyway. Oh, the sun's coming out. I gotta hurry. No ideal date. But, oh, wait. I don't want to do anything naturey. I don't want to take walks. I don't want to do anything active. That is not my ideal date at all. Number 5. Where would you want... Wait. I was reading a different question. My reading capabilities, I feel like, have gone down so bad because I don't read as often as I did when I was younger. I feel like a lot of people can't... You know, like when you used to read out loud in class? I don't think I can do that anymore. Or if I did, I'd be embarrassed. 5th grade reading level. Actually, a 5th grader could probably be better. Anyway. Would you want to be a travel writer like Nick? What are some pros and cons of this job? I would want to be a travel writer like Nick. It sounds fun. The pros, literally traveling the world, having fun, learning new stories, talking to people. Absolute con, not being grounded. I would like to have a stable job and be around people I care about. I was going to say, not to say that I don't care about, like, the random people I'm meeting, but I guess I don't care about them. But I don't know. That's literally the fun of being a traveler. The hard part is just constantly moving. You don't get to have your own place. And like he said, the pay was not good. I don't know. I'd only have enough for food, clothes, I guess trinkets. I don't know. But you're moving a lot, so I can't... Whatever. Number 6. Nick and Lily's families are extremely different and help shape the people they became. What are some character flaws and strengths they both have due to the way they grew up? Nick, commitment issues, unable to communicate. I don't know if insecure is the right word, but because of how he grew up, it definitely stunted his growth as a person, emotionally and mentally. Strengths? Strengths? I don't know his strengths. I think he really tries. That's admirable. Lily really pushed him to be better as a person emotionally and mentally. I think it's because of her that he decided to go to therapy and he decided to, like, not run away from his problems. I think Marcus also helped. But, I can't think of any strengths. I think he really tries. I think he's a good person. If we're truth be told, after reading all this stuff that happened, like, I really get his thought process and why things are hard for him because he doesn't know what to go off of. And I just think of, like, a sad little kid from Warren, because that's where he's from. That's just a poor baby boy, even though he's 28. Lily's strengths and flaws? Lily's strength is patience. I mean, that's a strength. Not everyone would even dream of thinking of being patient with someone, especially when that had happened. Flaws? I think they're both too passive as people, but I don't think it has to be a bad thing. I think it's just something that might hinder your growth, to which it did to both Nick and Lily's detriment. She had difficulty standing up for herself, but I don't think it's a flaw, but, like, I don't blame her with how everything, I don't know, being treated that way your whole life and people choosing not to listen to you. She talks about all the time with Nick how she wished someone would be there to listen for her. Strengths? Flaws? For some reason, I don't like her. I don't know if it's a flaw. I don't like her thought process when she was saying, I need someone who's willing to take risks, who's willing to jump through hurdles, live like the way I do. And she says that 2 times in her thought process to my memory. And she's just like, if that's not what Nick will be, that's fine. Then I'll just have to leave. That it is what it is. I don't know. I get that that's what you want. I think... I don't know. They both could have communicated so much better. And Lily was doing really well, but I still think there were some hiccups here and there, which is normal. I think she should have talked to him about it. I say ironically as, I don't know. She was being very upfront that she didn't want anything. But I could see how teetering she was with how she felt towards him because she wanted to respect him. And in that, it kind of, like, lopsided on both of them. Number 7. Nick ultimately returns to North Carolina to see his parents and have some sort of closure, or possibly a new beginning with them. Do you think he would do the same, or are Nick's dad's actions unforgivable to you? I didn't know he went for closure. It was more so because his father had a concussion. A possibly new beginning with them? Do you think you'd do the same? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't talk to them for 5 years, so I could see how mad I was. But he literally ran away. It's still the same concept to me. Just a little kid who's been hurt by his parents time and time again, and he needed to run away. He literally felt unsafe to be around these people. He literally thought his dad was taking him out after so long to hang out. Come to find out, they were fucking stealing from someone. Frank! Or are Nick's dad's actions unforgivable? The actions are definitely unforgivable. The person, I think he could redeem himself if he tried, but from what it seems, I don't think he wants to try. I was really nervous towards when he was at the hospital. He was going to ask, so where'd you get the money? Like, to pay for this? I was scared for that. I think I would do the same. I think I'd keep them at a distance, though. There's only so much you can do to mend a broken childhood. But I would try to forgive them, because I like forgiving people. I like giving people a second chance. But what he did is never forgivable. I guess it's up to him. Number 8. Lily lost to her sisters about what really happened between her and Nick and when they were corresponding online, because she didn't want them to feel bad for her or think she further needs their help in her love life. Do you think she should have told them the truth from the beginning, or do you think her lie gives her a sense of independence from her sisters? She didn't owe them anything. Let me see. She doesn't want them to feel bad for her. That is not up to her. They think how they think. So that's ironic coming from Lily, because she says the same thing to Nick, just like, it's not your place to say whether or not you deserve me. That's how I feel on it. So it's a different context, but same concept. Do you think she should have told him the truth? No. Because of how pushy they were, I understand why she did what she did. Though the lie was not fucking killing any of them. It wasn't, much less affecting them. I don't know if it gave her a sense of independence from her sisters, but whether she told the truth or not, it literally affected nothing. It got them off her back a little bit, but I think it helped. Yeah, I guess it did give her that sense of independence, but truth be told, I don't think it does anything. Because in any sense, they still pestered her. Kind of. Number 9, Lily's favorite genre is high fantasy because she loves the escapism and the bravery of the main characters. What is your favorite genre to read and why? I love reading memoirs. I don't know if romance is my favorite. I've been liking it. I like romance stories. It's what I read when I was younger. I'm not a fan of sci-fi. I'm not a fan of fantasy. Harry Potter is like the closest I'll get to fantasy. I don't know if it's a genre, but I think my favorite would be memoirs, which is ironically something I don't read anymore. Why? I just love reading about other people's lives and other people's stories. It's crazy to think what people go through. So it's a very people do not deserve to go through the trauma that I've read through. Very, very terrible stuff, but the way people write, I want to say it's an interesting read, but that sounds so selfish. Your life is so interesting, but you went through all this shit. I don't know. I love to read memoirs. I don't think that's a genre, but I just love them because I love listening to people's stories. But not that they deserve to go through all the terrible stuff that they went through. At the end of the book, Nick agrees to have dinner with Lily and her family. What is the significance of this commitment? I don't know. I think he's shown a lot of signs of wanting to do better to commit. Agrees to have dinner with Lily and her family? I don't know. The significance of itself is him, I guess, trying to make an effort, trying to commit to her, trying to do what she values in her concept of a relationship. Literally any effort he makes is significant in itself. I don't see how the family one makes much of a difference, just because it's one of the other things that she wants in her man. This is a good book. I don't like doing number ratings, but it was interesting. I think it's like the second romance book that I've read, but like so far at the library, maybe 3, I don't know. It's interesting to see how Nick's character was just so on and off. Like, I'm sure someone else is thinking, at 28 years old and you're acting like this. And I don't know. My thought still is just, I hope it's not infantilizing, but it's just like, it's just a poor kid who literally went through all this and he doesn't know what to do. And reading it in hindsight, it made me feel like, what, she's 26, he's 28. I don't know, they felt so young. I mean, they are young. It's not like they're old, but I don't know. It's sad to see how, like, badly Nick's problems, like, trailed with him through his life. It just goes to show how important it is to take care of your mental health. And again, how badly it is that the stuff that happens to you in your childhood, like, it sticks with you if you can't take care of it. But sometimes you don't know how to take care of it. So it's good that Lily not only was a reason for him to want to be better. I don't know. He literally found someone who gave him that push. What are the odds that they were in the fucking same apartment? Him choosing, what was it, Brooklyn? Something side. I have a terrible memory. Him choosing there, that makes sense because he wants to be around her or feel like he is. So he did not think he'd be around her. All those drafted emails that he had also, I wonder if he was ever going to send it. From what it seems like, he blocked her email, but he still had the email in itself because it said she just couldn't receive messages. I did not understand that about Violet's character. I think it's a little bit ironic. Like, all the guys who wanted her, she didn't want back because she didn't want commitment. They wanted her because of the lack of. So it's like, it's not, but like, Manic Pixie Dream Girl is the closest thing I can think of. They just wanted the opposite of what a woman is normally like. Just ironic. And then she finds someone 3 months late. I don't get that. Or I kind of do. Like, I get it. She's someone who doesn't want commitment, and then someone who walks around, she finally, like, finds someone who clicks with her in that way. Come to find out, he was cheating on her 2 weeks beforehand. I don't know how she couldn't see the signs, though. I don't know. She seems like such a girl boss, but for one, it's not like you expect people to cheat on you, but the issue in itself was that you met him in 3 months. There should be nothing in you telling you, like, oh, that is normal, that's fine. Like, I just don't think she knew enough about him to make that decision. Nah, and then he was cheating on her with her client. Oh, I tweaked the fuck out. I think it's interesting that she wants to be a children's book editor. I think that's cool. And then I'm glad she ended up, to her dream, doing it for a middle school novel. That was a good read. I'm glad I read it, to me, essentially in the span of 3 days. So whatever day I was reading a little bit chapters. Yesterday when I read 75% of it, and then this morning when I read a little bit. That was a good book. I've been talking for 22 minutes. I never understand how I'm able to talk for books for about, like, an episode's length. That always confuses me. I wish I had more to say. I don't like that her cat's name is Tomcat. I think that's an ugly name. I like this little chapter bit where all you see is, like, emails between them. I think that's cute. For a minute, I was afraid it would be only that. And it wasn't, obviously. I was hoping there'd be another little romantic part towards the end of the book where they both send each other an email. Just, like, to remind of them. But maybe Lily doesn't want to remember that because she got ghosted. I think I don't know. Everyone handles it differently. I don't know. Being ghosted didn't sound like the worst thing, but I think it's because of the connection that she made with him. My thought was just like, oh, well, it didn't work out. I would have liked it if you had told me up front. But I'm not who you think I am. Dramatic as fuck. You could have just been like, hey, I changed my mind. But it goes back to emotional trauma. I wish I could explain things better. I know my videos, these, like, book reviews in itself could be articulated much better if I just wrote things down or thought what I wanted to say. But I don't want to do that. I feel like this is more genuine me talking about it right after I read books. Or, like, the day after, I like that they're all named after flowers. Lily and her sisters. And then her mother Dahlia and her grandma Rose. I think that is so lovely. Her kids are literally her bouquet. That is adorable. I like that Marcus is very supportive of Nick. They have a good friendship. Caleb said something when the disco fell during that party. He was just like, something, you hooligans, something out. I thought that was funny. I took 3 pictures of what I wanted to talk about, but if I go out of it, then the video ends, and I don't want to edit it. I don't want to add anything today. I don't know if I have to because the thing was shown. the name of the library. But I know it's already in one of the other videos. I'm too lazy. To edit it out. I feel like I have more things to say. Wait, was Lily paying for her rent when she was staying on Violet's couch? Also, I thought that she was going to end up sleeping in Nick's apartment, like she'd live there instead of her own place. It seemed very... To me, it felt really obvious that was going to be the ending, but it wasn't. Makes more sense. Literally, they just started dating, and you expect me to stay in your apartment. I think it could have worked out. That's just me, personally. It was right there. He had no furniture. Nah. Whatever. I think that's me. I'd rush too quickly into that, I guess, if that was my option. But I guess, truth be told, if I had a boyfriend and I was going through all this stuff, even if I liked him a lot, yeah, I don't know if I'd want him to move in immediately. Whatever, never mind, I guess I get it. The end of the book has this little bit about Violet, so there's a book about her. I didn't want to read it. I just didn't want to. I don't like sneak peeks. I'd rather just read the whole book in itself, but... Good read. That is all I have to say. I'm going to go on my walk now and do whatever I'm going to do for the day. I love you. Have a good day.